When she walked out of my life, she did it with confidence, almost certainty, as if she knew exactly how the story would end. She believed I would stay where she left me, stuck in the same place, waiting for her to return whenever she felt ready. I didn't argue or beg. I simply watched her go, carrying that quiet assumption with her. For weeks after she left, my phone stayed silent. No messages, no calls, just empty evenings and long nights. I won't lie, at first, it hurt deeply. The absence she created was loud, and every memory seemed to echo her name. But pain has a strange way of forcing clarity when you let it. I started to notice how much of myself I had lost while trying to keep her happy. My routines, my dreams, even my friendships had slowly faded into the background. Without her there, I was forced to face that truth. And instead of breaking me, it woke something up inside me. I went back to the gym, not to prove anything, but to feel strong again. Each workout felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. The mirror slowly reflected someone who stood straighter, breathed deeper, and smiled more often. It wasn't about her anymore, it was about me. Work also changed. With fewer emotional distractions, I poured my energy into my career. Opportunities one once ignored suddenly seemed possible. I stayed late, learned new skills, and earned respect I didn't even realize I had been missing. Friends noticed the change before I did. They told me I looked lighter, calmer. Nights that used to be spent overthinking were now filled with laughter and conversations that mattered. I remembered who I was before I started shrinking myself for someone else. Months passed, and I stopped checking her social media. Her name no longer triggered that tight feeling in my chest. She had become a chapter, not the whole book. I was finally moving forward without realizing it. Then one day, her message appeared. Casual, almost friendly. She asked how I was doing, as if nothing had happened. I could sense it between the lines. She expected familiarity, maybe even longing. She told me she had thought about me a lot. She said she assumed I was still the same, still waiting, still holding on to what we had. There was a strange confidence in her words, like she believed time had frozen for me the moment she left. I read her message slowly, feeling no anger, no excitement, just clarity. I realized how wrong she was. The man she thought she knew no longer existed. I had grown beyond that version of myself. When I replied, I was polite but distant. I told her I was doing well, genuinely well. I didn't explain too much or reopen old wounds. I didn't need to prove anything. Her tone shifted after that. The confidence faded, replaced by curiosity and subtle regret. She asked more questions, tried to reconnect, tried to remind me of what we once were. But it felt hollow. I noticed something then. She wasn't missing me. She was missing the version of me that waited. The one who made her feel important by putting his life on pause. And that version was gone. I declined her invitation to meet up. Not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. I knew reopening that door would only pull me backward. Growth doesn't happen when you keep revisiting the past. That night, I felt an unexpected sense of peace. For the first time, I truly understood that moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing yourself. I had done that without even realizing it. She sent one last message, saying she hoped I would always be there if she needed me. I didn't respond. Not because I was cruel, but because I was done being an option. Life continued, fuller than before. New goals replaced old regrets. New connections formed without the weight of comparison. I learned what it felt like to be valued without having to wait. Looking back, I'm grateful she left when she did. Her absence forced me to grow in ways her presence never allowed. What felt like an ending was actually a beginning. She believed I was still waiting for her, stuck in the past she walked away from. But she was wrong. While she looked back expecting to find me there, I was already far ahead, building a life she no longer fit into. And that realization, that I no longer needed her validation, was the quiet victory I never knew I was searching for.